What is up, everybody? JT Dangerous here once again. I am back for my Week 4 NFL predictions. Now, Week 3 just ended with the Pittsburgh Steelers defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Monday Night Football. So now we're into Week 4 of the NFL season. So I'm very excited to do these predictions for you guys, and I hope you guys do enjoy. Now, our record coming into Week 4 after a very bad Week 3, we went 6-10. So our overall record coming in is 19-27-2. Now, I'll be honest with you folks. This year, NFL predictions has kicked me in the ass. And I'm so surprised that we're starting the season off like this. I didn't expect it, but I'm confident that we can turn it around. It's only Week 4 of the NFL season. We still have a long ways to go. So hopefully in this video we will get back on the winning track and end this 3-week losing streak before it gets worse. Hopefully. Now, if you have not checked out my 2 other videos that I put up today, definitely go check them out. This is the 3rd video of the day, so hopefully you guys will be able to watch all of these videos. As always, show your support by watching those videos, super kicking those like buttons, and hitting that notification bell, and commenting your picks, your opinions, and representing your NFL team in the comment sections down below. Now, if this is your first time watching my channel, as a first-time viewer, and this is your first video, boy, you picked a good one if you're a huge NFL fan like myself and you're ready for Week 4 of the NFL season. Welcome to the Dangerous Lions. I am JT Dangerously. Welcome to the club, because this club is to... Whoop, whoop. Again, thank you guys so very much. Now, other than that, let's get right into these predictions. Starting off with the buys, so if you have any players on these teams that have buys on your fantasy football team, switch them out for suitable replacements. Now, the buys are for the Carolina Panthers and the Washington Redskins. So if you have any players on any of those teams, have suitable replacements so you'll be ready for your next fantasy football matchup this week. Now let's start off on Thursday Night Football with maybe the best game of the year on Thursday night, pitting the Minnesota Vikings heading to the Coliseum to face the undefeated Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Minnesota Vikings are coming off a surprising loss at home to the Buffalo Bills on Sunday. They looked like they were not even awake for that game. Kirk Cousins had a very bad game, and the Vikings are looking to get back on track and get a rebound. Then on the other side, you have the undefeated Rams coming off a big win over the Los Angeles Chargers at home on Sunday. Jared Goff had another big-time game with over 300-plus yards with 3 touchdowns. Robert Woods had some big-time moments. Todd Gurley had a big-time game on the ground with over 100 yards and a touchdown. And the defense once again stepped up to the plate like they have done all season long. So coming from me in this really good matchup on Thursday night, battle of the 2 best defenses in the NFC right now, the Vikings and the Rams. This one's going to be a good one. This could definitely be a low-scoring game, but don't be surprised it won't be. So coming from me, I'm going to take the undefeated Rams to remain undefeated and defeat the Minnesota Vikings. And now the Sunday slate, starting at 10 a.m. here on the West Coast, 1 p.m. on the East Coast. Starting off with the New York Jets, heading to Jacksonville to face the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the Jets are coming off their loss on the road to the Cleveland Browns on Thursday Night Football, in which Sam Darnold did not have his best game. Maybe his worst game as a starter. Other than Isaiah Crowell's 2 touchdowns and a very interesting touchdown celebration, wiping the football like toilet paper and throwing it out to the fans. Real classy. And the Jets are looking to rebound and bounce back. Then on the other side, you have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming off their loss to the Tennessee Titans in maybe the most boring game on Sunday, when there was no offensive touchdowns, no defensive touchdowns. It was all about their field goal kickers. That's about it. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are also looking to rebound and bounce back. So coming from me in this matchup, Sam Darnold against that Jacksonville defense. Talk about a baptism by fire for the rookie out of USC. So I'm going to take the Jacksonville Jaguars to defeat the New York Jets. And now the next matchup. It is a huge AFC East showdown featuring the first place Miami Dolphins heading to Gillette to face my New England Patriots. Now, this is the 106th meeting between the Dolphins and the Patriots, including the playoffs. Dolphins lead the all-time series 54-51. Now, the Dolphins beat the Patriots last December, and the Patriots are looking to defeat the Dolphins for the first time since my birthday last year. Now, starting off with the Dolphins, are coming off a big win over the Oakland Raiders. Yes, I was wrong in picking against them, and they are looking like they're looking like the legit team right now. There must have been watching that Miami Hurricane season last year that they're starting off this hot. Tannehill's having a great year, and the Dolphins are looking to get a huge statement win against the reigning AFC East champions. Then on the other side of the New England Patriots coming off an embarrassing loss on Sunday Night Football to the Detroit Lions. Offense just did not look good. Hell, their offense didn't really even do much. James White was the only touchdown for the Patriots. Tom Brady did not have his best game, but when it comes to playing at home, the Patriots definitely step up, and this is a big step-up game because they're in last place in the AFC East, and I never thought I would say that about my team being in last place, being behind the Dolphins, which, again, I got a lot of respect for the Dolphins. So, coming from me in this AFC East showdown, this one's tough. I know a lot of people were not happy that I picked Oakland to beat Miami last week. Again, I was wrong. But coming from me, cannot go against my own team. So I got to go with my New England Patriots to defeat the Miami Dolphins in a close one. And now the next matchup, pitting the Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles heading to Nashville to face the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are coming off a big win over the Indianapolis Colts at home on Sunday. It was Carson Wentz's first game back after the ACL injury last year. He did look a little shaky, but he got it back together, and I think the Eagles are going to get back on the winning track. Then on the other side, you have the Tennessee Titans coming off their big win over the Jacksonville Jaguars in that field goal boring game on Sunday, in which in that game, Blaine Gabbert did get hurt with a concussion, and they have to bring back Marcus Mariota to finish the game. So we don't know if Mariota is going to be 100% for that game. We know Blaine Gabbert's not going to be playing with the concussion, so it's going to be Mariota's team, but he's very iffy right now. So coming from me, I'm going to take Carson Wentz and the Super Bowl champ Philadelphia Eagles to defeat the Tennessee Titans. And now the next matchup. It is an AFC South showdown featuring the winless Houston Texans heading to Lucas Oil to face the Indianapolis Colts. Now the winless Texans are coming off a loss at home to the New York Giants, and I'm so surprised this team is winless. With that much talent on that team, I'm so surprised they're winless. With Deshaun Watson, with Will Fuller, with DeAndre Hopkins, with J.J. Watt. To see them be winless this season is very surprising, and I know you Houston Texans fans are surprised as well that you have such a great team, but they're winless. So they're looking to rebound and get their first win of the season. The only other side of the Indianapolis Colts coming off a tough loss to the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. Andrew Luck had a pretty solid game, but they just fell short against the reigning Super Bowl champs, and they're looking to rebound and bounce back. So coming from me in this AFC South showdown, this one's tough because every time I pick against the Colts, they win. Every time I pick for the Colts, they lose. So, coming from me, I'm going to take Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans to get their first win of the season and defeat the Indianapolis Colts in a close one. And now the next matchup, pitting the Buffalo Bills heading to Lambeau to face the Green Bay Packers. Now the Buffalo Bills are coming off a huge win over the Minnesota Vikings on the road on Sunday, in which Josh Allen got it done for them. And I'm just going to say it right now. Where was he the first two games of the season for the Bills? Josh Allen had a huge game. We had over nearly 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, 2 that he ran by himself. And the Bills are looking to get another big win against another top NFC North contender. Then on the other side, you have the Green Bay Packers coming off their loss to the surprising Washington Redskins on Sunday. And Aaron Rodgers had a pretty solid game. They nearly came back to win that game, but they just fell short. Now, I'm just going to say something about that Clay Matthews hit. That was roughing the passer. That was beyond bullshit of a flag for roughing the passer on Clay Matthews, because that was a clean hit. Like Clay Matthews says, the NFL is getting soft, and they need to change that roughing the passer rule immediately. And the Packers are looking to rebound and bounce back at home. So coming from me in this matchup, man, can the Bills knock off 2 NFC North teams in their home building? Could definitely happen. Josh Allen can definitely do it. But coming from me, I got to go with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers to rebound and bounce back at home and defeat the Buffalo Bills. And now the next matchup, pitting the Detroit Lions heading to the Jerry Dome to face the Dallas Cowboys. Now the Detroit Lions are coming off a huge win over my New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football, and the Lions looked better in that game. Matthew Stafford had a big-time game. Their defense got to Tom Brady and the Patriots, and that was Matt Patricia's big win against his former coach in Bill Belichick. But Detroit got it back, got it turned around in an instant in that game. They're looking to get another big win to start the season. Then on the other side, you have the Dallas Cowboys coming off their loss to the Seattle Seahawks on the road on Sunday. Dak Prescott definitely got manhandled by the Seattle defense. Their offense really didn't do much. Sean Lee did get hurt in that game with, I think they said it was a hamstring or a shoulder injury, so we don't know if he's going to be playing. But Dallas is looking to rebound and bounce back in their home building. So coming from me in this matchup, I'm going to go with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions to defeat the Dallas Cowboys in a close one. And now the next matchup, pitting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading to Soldier Field to face the Chicago Bears. Now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are coming off their loss tonight on Monday Night Football to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Fitzmagic kind of fizzled out on primetime tonight. But again, it's just one game. The season is still young. He can turn it around, and hopefully they won't just go back to Jameis Winston. Again, I love Jameis Winston, but Fitzpatrick is doing a lot better quarterbacking than Winston has done in 2 years in Tampa. And they're looking to rebound and bounce back. Then on the other side, you have the Chicago Bears coming off a big win over the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, in which Khalil Mack once again put that defense on his back. He did most of the job for that defense against the Cardinals. Mitchell Trubisky had another big-time game, but it was Khalil Mack once again paying dividends for the Bears and their defense. So coming from me in this matchup, this one's tough because that Bears defense is getting better and better with Khalil Mack in that rotation. It's scary. It's scary how good their defense has gotten since Khalil Mack has come. Mitchell Trubisky is looking to have another big game, but I'm going to go with Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to rebound and bounce back and defeat the Chicago Bears in a really close match. And now the next matchup, pitting the Cincinnati Bengals heading to the Georgia Dome to face the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the Bengals are coming off a loss to the Carolina Panthers on the road on Sunday, and Andy Dalton looked bad in that game. He only had 2 touchdowns and 4 picks, and they're still in first place in the AFC North, but that loss definitely hurt, and they got put back to reality, and they're looking to rebound and bounce back. Then on the other side, you have the Atlanta Falcons coming off their heartbreaking loss to the New Orleans Saints in overtime at home, but Matt Ryan had a monster game against the Saints on Sunday. He had over 300 plus yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 of those touchdowns went to their rookie wide receiver straight out of Alabama in Calvin Ridley. Now, if you're a fantasy football owner and Calvin Ridley is still available, pick him up right now. If he's on another team and they don't use him, trade for him. Trade for him right now, because Calvin Ridley is going to be a star in Atlanta. When you have Julio Jones and Mohamed Sanu, and you have so many great players on that roster that Matt Ryan can throw to, Calvin Ridley is going to be that star to look out for the Falcons. So coming from me in this matchup, this one's tough. I'm going to go with Matt Ryan and the Falcons to get it done at home and defeat the Cincinnati Bengals. And now the next matchup, it is an NFC West showdown featuring my Seattle Seahawks heading to Glendale to face the Arizona Cardinals. Now the Seahawks are coming off a big win at home over the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. Russell Wilson once again got it done, even though Doug Baldwin didn't play. Brandon Marshall got it done. Tyler Lockett had a big-time game. Chris Carson, or C-Dub, had a great game on the ground. And their defense got to Dak Prescott multiple times. And the Seahawks are looking to get another big win, especially in the NFC West. Then on the other side, you have the Arizona Cardinals coming off a very heartbreaking loss to the Chicago Bears, in which they were up early in that game, but they just fell short to the Chicago Bears. Now, Sam Bradford did have 2 touchdowns, but in this game, we're going to see their number 10 overall pick in this year's NFL draft in Josh Rosen, the former UCLA Bruin. So this is going to be his first game in the NFL against Seattle. Talk about another baptism by fire for the rookie. But don't count out Josh Rosen. He did some good stuff in UCLA, even though their team really wasn't well known. In that year when Rosen was there, they really didn't do much. But Rosen is a good quarterback, and he's got a chance to prove it. So coming from me in this NFC West showdown, just don't think Rosen's going to have a good start. I just don't. So I'm going to go with Seattle Seahawks to defeat the Arizona Cardinals. And now the next matchup, pitting the Cleveland Browns heading to the black hole to face the winless Oakland Raiders. Now, the Cleveland Browns are coming off their biggest win of the year on Thursday night, defeating the New York Jets at home, giving Cleveland their first win since 2016, and I could not have been happier for the Cleveland Browns. And they did it all. They didn't do it by themselves. They did it with their number 1 draft pick from my favorite school, the Oklahoma Sooners, Baker Mayfield, and he will be starting his first game in the NFL in this game. So I could not be any happier. Carlos Hyde had a great game on the ground with some touchdowns, and this Cleveland Browns team, like I said in Week 1, if they start Tyrod Taylor, they're not going to win as many games. If they start Baker Mayfield, they'll win maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 games, or even more, because Baker Mayfield is a star. He should have been starting the first 2 games of the season for the Browns, but they wanted to go with Tyrod to see what he does. But we saw on Thursday night, Baker Mayfield got it done for the Browns. He is their starting quarterback for the rest of the season, bar none. And if they don't start him, Hugh Jackson is a stupid idiot. Then on the other side, you have the winless Raiders coming off a tough loss to the Miami Dolphins. Yes, again, I was wrong in picking the Raiders over the Dolphins. Again, but the Raiders are just not looking good. And John Gruden, in his first year back in Oakland, is having possibly maybe his worst year coaching the Raiders. And they haven't got a win. They're 0-3. It's turning into a horror film for John Gruden's first year in Oakland. The only bright moment for the Raiders in that game against the Dolphins was Jordy Nelson. He had a big-time game, and he proved that, hey, it was not always Aaron Rodgers. He can play for any quarterback and get 100 yards and a touchdown. But the Raiders are looking to get their first win of the season. So coming from me in this matchup, man, like I said, Baker Mayfield starts, they're going to start winning. So I'm going to take the Cleveland Browns to get their second win of the season and defeat the winless Raiders. And now the next matchup, pitting the New Orleans Saints heading to Gotham to face the New York Giants. Now the Saints are coming off a big win over the Atlanta Falcons on the road in overtime, and Drew Brees went off once again. He had over 5 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, and they just got it done in the clutch. And that's what Drew Brees does in every game. He always wins it in the clutch, and the Saints are looking to get another big win. The only other side, you have the New York Giants coming off their big win on the road over the Houston Texans. Eli Manning had maybe his best game of the season. And Odell Beckham Jr. had a big-time game receiving and got a touchdown. Saquon Barkley, another great game on the ground with a touchdown. But they did lose their very talented tight end for a couple weeks. But with that offense definitely clicking with Saquon and Odell Beckham Jr., losing that tight end is not going to hurt them as much. So coming from me in this matchup, oh, this one's tough. This one is tough. I know my man Mitchell Seagal is picking the Giants to defeat the Saints, so that's pretty ballsy. So coming from me, you know what? I'm going to take suit in what he was talking about. Saints, Drew Brees does not do good in cold weather, and New York gets cold this time of the year. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I may get this one wrong, but what else is there to lose? I'm going to go with the New York Giants to upset the New Orleans Saints. And now the next matchup, pitting the San Francisco 49ers heading to LA to face the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the San Francisco 49ers are coming off a very tough loss to the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday, but they also lost a huge player on their team. Now, if you don't know, Jimmy Garoppolo, quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, tore his ACL in that game, and he is done for the season. That is the biggest blow the Niners could have never wanted, and they got it. And I'm just going to say it right now. Since they got rid of Kaepernick, this Niners team has not been the same team. They haven't been successful. They had a star in the making in Jimmy Garoppolo, and in the third game of the season, he tears his ACL. Talk about karma coming back to the Niners every season since they got rid of Colin Kaepernick. You cannot say anything. You can't say nothing more than that. Karma is biting the Niners in the ass since getting rid of Colin Kaepernick. and they're going to start C.J. Beathard. Now, he was great in Iowa. He was pretty solid when before they got Garoppolo, but C.J. Beathard, Jimmy Garoppolo, there's a difference. Then on the other side, you have the Los Angeles Chargers coming off their tough loss to the Rams on Sunday. Phillip Rivers had a pretty solid game, but that defense definitely got to him. Melvin Gordon had a pretty solid game on the ground, and the Chargers are looking to rebound and bounce back. So coming from me in this matchup, without Jimmy Garoppolo, the Niners are SOL, and that means you're shit out of luck. So I'm taking the Los Angeles Chargers to defeat the San Francisco 49ers and maybe a blowout. And now the Sunday night matchup, and this one's going to be a good one. It's an AFC North rivalry showdown featuring the Baltimore Ravens heading to Heinz Field to face the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this is the 49th meeting between the Ravens and the Steelers. The Steelers lead the all-time series 27-21. The Steelers have won the last 3 meetings against Baltimore, and Baltimore's looking to beat Pittsburgh for the first time in 2 years. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are coming off a big win over the Denver Broncos. They got everything gelling. Joe Flacco had a big-time game. I think their running back, Alex Collins, had a big-time game on the ground. And their defense definitely got to Case Keenum and the Broncos. And the Baltimore Ravens are looking to get a big win over their AFC North rivals. The only other side, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers coming off a big win tonight on Monday Night Football over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They look like they got it back all together. Ben Roethlisberger had a big-time game. Vance McDonald had a huge game receiving with over 100 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Brown had a big-time game. But I've been hearing a lot of rumors that they're trying to trade Le'Veon Bell. They're trying to get rid of the problem, which is surprising they would get rid of such an elite running back. And I heard the Jets are looking to get him. I know the Patriots are definitely going to be looking for him. Eagles, maybe the Eagles, maybe it's a team that needs him. But I can see that they're trying to move past the Le'Veon Bell story, the Le'Veon Bell situation, and just try to trade him right off the team. So coming from me in this AFC North showdown on Sunday Night Football. Man, this one's tough. This one's going to be defensive. This is going to be a defensive battle. It could be low scoring. But coming from me, I'm taking Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers to defeat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football in a close one. And now the Monday night matchup pitting two AFC West in a NFC West showdown, pitting the Kansas City Chiefs heading 2 Mile High to face the Denver Broncos. Now the Kansas City Chiefs are coming off a big win over the San Francisco 49ers on Sunday, and Patrick Mahomes once again had a big-time game. He had over 3 touchdowns. He has now 13 touchdowns in the first 3 games of the season. Unbelievable that this guy should have been starting the first year he came into the NFL. He should have been starting. Alex Smith was a bum in Kansas City, and he couldn't win a playoff game. Patrick Mahomes is their future, and he should have been starting it years ago. And the Kansas City Chiefs are looking to get a big win on prime time against an AFC West rival. Then on the other side, you have the Denver Broncos coming off their loss to the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday. They just did not look good. Case Keenum had a pretty solid game, but they just fell short against a very good Baltimore Ravens defense. So coming from me in this AFC West showdown on Monday Night Football, it's hard to pick against Patrick Mahomes. It's hard. But I'm going to stick with him. He's been the most fire quarterback right now. So I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs to defeat the Denver Broncos on Monday Night Football. And those are my Week 4 NFL predictions. I want to thank you guys so very much for watching this video today. Comment below, who do you have winning in Week 4? Do you see any upsets? And let me know who you got. And as always, represent your NFL team if you're an NFL football fan. Let's have a conversation about them. Of course, I'm always on to see your comment, like it, and of course, reply right back to you because comments are absolutely always welcome on this channel. I do want to thank you guys so very much for watching these videos today. Now, before you guys go, you guys can never forget to do this. That like button, comment, share with your friends. Of course, super kick that like button like only you guys can. Of course, you can never forget to do this as well. That subscribe button become part of this bigger and dangerous alliance. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my official New Japan Pro Wrestling's Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2018 predictions. Later days, guys, and peace.